Welcome to the Literacy and Numeracy Secretariat's March webcast entitled All Children Can Achieve, a focus on equity of outcome. Now, research indicates that teachers' knowledge, skills, and beliefs, effective leadership, and community involvement are key factors in improving achievement for all students. This webcast will explore effective practices that have made a difference for all students, regardless of socioeconomic status and other factors such as linguistic and ethnocultural background. One of the 9 strategies of the Literacy and Numeracy Secretariat is that Ontario must provide equity of outcome for all its children, regardless of backgrounds. In traveling across this province, I know that Ontario teachers and principals and all those who work in schools have a vision for their class, for their school, or for their school districts. I know that you also want to see all children succeed. In order for that to happen, there are some givens, there are some beliefs. And what are some of these? The first is that all children can learn and succeed given the proper supports. Another is that each child, each school, and each community has a unique identity which includes both strengths and challenges. Each child must receive differentiated support that takes into account these strengths and these challenges in order for them to achieve their full potential. And it's up to us as a school system, as schools, as teachers, as parents, and all those who work with students, to do whatever it takes to set students up for success. In addressing this issue of equity of outcome, let's think about the language and what it means. What do we mean by equity? Too often we believe it means treating students the same. But equity and sameness are not synonymous, because in order for us to ensure that students achieve to the maximum of their potential, very often it means treating them differently, treating them according to their needs. So equity and sameness are not exactly what we mean when we talk about equity of outcome. What's important here is that we cannot allow the self-fulfilling prophecy to take hold. If they're poor, they will not do well. We are proving that poverty is not destiny. Another is the primary responsibility for learning lies with the student. So often people say, well, if they're not motivated, if they don't want to learn, there's nothing we can do about it. Learning is a partnership. And it is true that student motivation plays a key role. Another is that the primary visible identity of a student is the critical factor determining instruction. For example, all boys like adventure stories. Well, some boys may, but not all boys do. And it is so important for us not to allow stereotypes about a specific group to limit us in any way in terms of the learning opportunities that we provide. Another misconception is that parents who are not actively involved in their children's education are disinterested. That's a misconception that we should pay attention to, because there's so many parents who have so many reasons for not taking the interest in their education that we would think is necessary. I have yet to meet a parent who does not want the best for his or her child. One of the things that we have noticed in schools across the province is that teachers and principals are paying more attention to the use of data in making their decisions about programming for students and decisions in schools. We encourage you to continue to do that, because when you have the data around how students are doing, around what their needs are, then we can take them to new heights of achievement if we can address the specific needs as indicated by the data. We also encourage you to focus on what students bring, their assets, their specific needs, and not to subscribe to a deficit model, what they don't have. All students bring a rich background of experiences to the classroom, and exemplary teachers know how to integrate those experiences, to build upon them, and to make learning come alive. One of the most important things is to have high expectations for students. If we believe that they can learn, they will believe that also. And there's nothing more important than looking at the students in our class as individuals with skills, with abilities, with aspirations for the future. They deserve to be successful. And what we need to consider as educators is the cost not only to the individuals, but to our society of not educating all children to the maximum of their ability. That's why equity of outcome is therefore one of the key strategies adopted from the Secretariat. And I know that as you listen to all the speakers who will try to elucidate the issues, they will provide specific strategies, and they will help us understand better what it means to ensure that all children succeed.